Quick disclaimer, this entire video is my opinion and my opinion only and was filmed for entertainment purposes only. This video is a follow-up to my earlier video about someone named Audra Winter, or should I say Sarah Prather. So Sarah Prather is her real name. Audra Winter is her author name, her alias, if you will. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because a lot of stuff has happened since I posted my last video, and let's just talk about it. She posted a video on TikTok saying that she was re-releasing her book, The Age of Scorpius, and she was going to re-release it by December of this year, which we're really close to December. I mean, to re-release an entire new book, that's an aggressive deadline.
My name is Audra Winter, and I am going to be redoing this book.
Also, she's talking about all the different edits she needs to make to this book. Editing Heather here. So yeah, she not only wanted to make a ton of edits, but she also wanted to change a ton of the art, and she's going to put sprayed edges and do all this ridiculous stuff that's totally not even needed. We don't need more art. We need a book that's actually readable. Okay, back to the video. She's also recruiting a copy editor from her followers, which is just a really strange thing to be doing, especially when she said she's already, been working with some famous editors. Why is she recruiting a copy editor from her followers? And saying all of those things, I'm also deeply disappointed that she isn't backing off of this project. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Did I think she was going to take anyone's advice and actually take a step back, write something different, stretch those writing muscles, do something different, write anything different? And she didn't take any of that advice to heart, and she's barreling forward with the same story. And I'm sorry to say this, and this might come across as a little harsh, but you don't get a do-over with a reader. If a reader if a reader reads one of your books and just doesn't like it, they're not going to reread that same book again if you re-release it. Maybe some people will, but the majority of the people in the world have other books to read, and they're moving on and they're moving past it. But not only that, but she's also charging people more money for this book. And she said if you already bought a copy of the book, you get an ebook copy of this new book. Well, whatever, great. So then the people that bought your original book, apparently that didn't have any care go into it. Is that what you're saying? Because now you're saying, now we're putting in all this care and love and passion into this new book. Are you saying that the first book didn't get that, exact love or whatever? There's a lot of things that just don't make sense. And this goes back to, she's a very young author and she's doing these things that are very immature, and it's not good for her career to be holding fast to this Age of Scorpius. And the comment section reflects that. If you scroll through the comments of that particular video she just posted, no one is in favor of this. And when you click on the TikTok shop icon to see how many people have, bought this book, through pre-sale, there's like 20 people who have done so, compared to 6,000 or something originally. So either way, it's just very stupid in my opinion. Maybe this comes with the fact that you have to let people, experience their own hardships, and you shouldn't try to help them through it. Well, she's got to experience this for herself, and damn, she is, man. This book is not going to sell. No one is going to buy this book. It was already ripped to shreds. It is done. It is dusted. It is in the ground. It is in a grave. Not only is all of that happening, but it also came to my attention that she has this background online. I am just judging by what I see myself, so if you go back to the World of Guardian TikTok or whatever, there are many videos that are reposting a account called Sarah and Smidge. Okay, editing Heather here. So here are the videos that were reposted by the World of Guardian LLC's TikTok page. and you see the account is called Sarah and Smidge from 2023. You can no longer find any of these reposted videos online. They are completely scrubbed. Also, if you try to find the account on TikTok, you will not find it. It is not there anymore. But I did record my screen the other day, so I was able to capture all of these examples of the World of Guardian reposting all of these old videos. So check it out. So this Sarah and Smidge account is Sarah's original TikTok account. There's all these videos of her in Alaska, because apparently she had a job in Alaska for some time, which is very cool. But then there's all of these videos where she's promoting a GoFundMe to collect money for a PTSD service dog. This is also how people found out Audra Winter's real name. And pen names are fine. People can have pen names. But when people found this, they were like, well, this is kind of strange. So she raised $8,555 so far, last donation being about a year ago. And she said that she's an abuse survivor diagnosed with severe PTSD. My service dog is costing me a total of $19,500. And they talk about the training program and needing to afford the dog within 8 months. This GoFundMe goes on to explain some things that are incredibly sad that happened to Sarah in high school. They said they were abused. They said that they feared for their life. They were receiving threats. And then they started experiencing PTSD. And so then she said a few months later, she got a severe PTSD diagnosis. Now, full disclosure, I am someone who was abused as a child, and I will never minimize anyone else's, experiences with that. I am someone who knows that intimately and has dealt with it my entire life. She said, I live in Alaska. I work as a naturalist on boats giving tours, and Smidge is being trained to alert for panic attacks. Deep pressure therapy, act as a buffer or guard in social situations, all this stuff. And she said she's not able to visit public spaces easily without a dog like this, and she fears for her life in social situations. And also, it doesn't seem like Sarah's hiding this too. However, so she's not hiding it because the Guardian account reposted the GoFundMe information for this. So it's not like she was hiding it at that point. But I did notice that the Sarah and Smidge account is completely deleted. And I don't know when that happened. I don't know. So I don't know when that happened, but it had to have been recently for any of this to make sense. So why did she delete the account if there's nothing to hide? I don't know. It looks relatively innocent, and I'm looking at this extremely objectively. It looks like she was really trying to afford this dog. But it's interesting that the whole matter was dropped whenever her book started to become very, big or whatever. And all the pre-sales were happening, and the money was coming in. It said she was making 3 figures, so quite a bit of money. I just think that's all kind of connecting in people's minds, and people are looking at that and thinking, is she a grifter? Is she just trying to get money any way she can? Is she being dishonest in what she's asking for? And I can't say any of that just looking at the facts. I don't know if she's being dishonest. It seems like the alert dog, a medical dog, is a real thing. So I did find a post on Facebook where she's talking about how she needs an apartment, and she has a alert response dog, and she said that she's in an interesting situation. She's an author who's starting to take off. With a quick Google search, I found that the cost of a medical alert dog is actually pretty substantial. It can be between $15,000 and $50,000. Yeah, and there's a website called GoodRx that says a trained service dog can cost from $15,000 to $30,000 or more up front, in addition to at least $500 a year for food and veterinary care. So it's incredibly expensive for one of these dogs. The price that she's asking for in the GoFundMe it makes sense to me. Now, is she being genuine? I have no idea, but a lot of people are looking at this and they are not liking the fact that they see a GoFundMe asking for this large amount of money right before she kind of blows up as an author. But it does look like the dog is genuine. She does own a dog and it lives with her. So it is a thing that is real. It looks real from what I can see. So here's my wrap up. First of all, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm just a random person on the internet. But I'm upset that she's rewriting this freaking book. I mean, why? Why are you doing this? It's like bashing your head up against a wall. Like, what are you doing? It's not going to sell well. It's going to do terribly. It's not going to be worth it. You're going to be dumping more money into this when you shouldn't be. You should be moving on. Number two, why didn't the first book, get this kind of care and love and attention? It was released through crazy methods. I don't know. The first book had 2 editors, and for some reason, that wasn't enough. And now we need a third, and we want to recruit it from our followers. And it's just all very silly. It's all very, very dumb. She honestly needs someone in the industry to kind of be like, girl, don't do this. And here's why. She's not going to take anyone's advice. She is the kind of person that needs to find it out for herself. So there's no telling her what to do. She's going to re-release this book, and it's going to, the sales are going to be horrible. And we're all going to be sitting there like, why? Why release this? It just doesn't make any sense. She just needs to move on, and she won't move on. It's just so silly. And the whole thing with the GoFundMe and all of that, there's nothing that I can see that looks like it's dishonest. I don't know. But I also don't know why she deleted the TikTok account. Why delete the account if it's all genuine and you were being honest? Either way, it's just not a good look. And maybe that's why she deleted it, because people are coming into comment sections and saying like, hey, did you hear? And someone came into my YouTube video and say, hey, did you hear? And I did hear, and I looked into it, and it is weird, it's a weird thing. But does it mean that she's a grifter? It's not. I'm not 100% convinced. I think she's just a Lulu, guys. She's just a Lulu. And people keep throwing money at her, and she's going to continue being delusional. So what we have to do is don't pre-order the new book. Don't do it. And also, she needs to not re-release it. But she won't listen. She needs to figure it out for herself. So, yeah, whatever. Ugh. See if this video needs a part 3 one day. We'll see. But in the meantime, I really appreciate you watching my video the whole way through. And if you can, definitely please subscribe to me. I will be posting every Sunday and Thursday about Booktok drama, author drama, things like that. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, or if you're interested in watching me play horror games, I stream that on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. So feel free to stick around for that kind of content. And I also review horror movies. So if you're not a horror person, that's totally fine. I will have a playlist of book drama, and you can just stay in that and hide in the comments and not watch any of my horror videos. But I do have some of that content if that's your thing. So thank you so much for sticking around, and happy writing, happy reading, and happy watching movies and whatever you want to do. Just have fun doing whatever you love, and goodbye.